Hello everyone, welcome to the Midweek Mini about laser cutters. So we mentioned the laser cutter quite a few times in previous shows, so we thought it was about time we went into a little bit more detail. And this is one of our mini shows, so if you're watching on Patreon you'll get the full show. If you're just on YouTube we'll get an abridged version, and if you want to see the whole show then come on over and join us as a podder on Patreon and you'll get to see it all. So we're going to talk a little bit about the laser cutter, how it works, what we use it for, our history with it, how we got it, things we learned to do and things we learned not to do with it, and show you some of our results. So the first thing we did when we got the laser cutter was use it for wood, cutting wood, plywood like this. We made little key rings with it. They were incredibly popular, and we quite often gave them away to people at Comic-Cons. Nowadays you can purchase them on the eStay site. And here's another example of wood. So as you can see, in this case, it was just a line drawing we did, but you can actually import quite complex images, JPEGs. This is a little sketch I did of a bee, and then convert it out so that it becomes an etching rather than a cutting. Because the thing with a laser cutter is you can etch for detail, and then you can also cut, which is what's happened around the line there. So that's on plywood. We did it on board as well, more dense material. So we also found you could do it on acrylic. Here's an example of using, I think this is 2mm acrylic. We did it for our business cards, and a little Podpadstudios logo there, which sort of brings me to the fact that some things we do are about the volume of cutting the same thing again and again and again. And other things, like this is a dragon that we cut into some plastic board, we just want to do it once or twice, but we want to get that accuracy of line. So this one was used on the coach for the dragons because we needed some sort of imagery on there that would have been very hard to get cutting out by hand. And then there's things which we want to cut a huge volume of. So for example, here we've got a little earring, and you can see here that was just cut from card. But obviously there was a huge amount of parts we needed to cut to make a quantity of them. And then we also cut the boxes here. You can see that was just cut from stiff card. So the whole thing is handmade with the help of the machine. How does it work? So inside the laser, we basically have an 80-watt laser at the back. This emits a very, very focused beam of light, which is what a laser is. It's so focused that it's hot enough to cut through certain materials. Wood, for example. It doesn't work on metal because the light bounces back out, it reflects it, but it works on wood and the acrylic, as I've showed you. The laser is generating the light at the back, and it gets beamed via a series of mirrors and lenses to the front, and it comes out of this head. Obviously, it can do serious damage to your skin, to your eyes, so you never look at it with a bare eye, and you make sure you'd never operate it unless the lid was actually closed. The bed itself, it can be raised and layered, so you can have different height materials on it. And when we're running the laser, it has a cooling system which is water-based. So underneath we have a water receptacle and a pump that pumps the water around and keeps the laser cool while it's in operation. We also have an air system that blows down the laser, so it blows away any bits of debris. So that's constantly running while it's in operation. And then we also have an extractor fan that takes away the smoke, and that's also running when it's in operation. So it's quite a few systems. We learned how to set it up through using the internet, and we'll put a lot of links below about the people that we came across as we were learning how to set this up, because you do have to set it up yourself really to make it all run. So obviously we've got this set up in our studio. The bed we've got is 700 by 500 mil, so it's quite a big object when it comes. You've got to have power supply for the air system, the water system, install the extractor fan. This is not a hobbyist machine. This is perhaps one step down from a full production machine, but nevertheless there's quite a lot of setting up to do. And obviously you have to install all the software for the controlling of it. So I just done a little sketch of Podpug here, and I'm going to take a quick photo of it so that I can use it later on the laser cutter. What I want to do is I want to make a little coaster. It's going to be 80mm diameter. So I'll scale that down. All pretty normal commands for scaling and sizing stuff. I'm scrolling on the central mouse button, or you can use these to control your field of view. And basically I've now got my work the right size in the corner of the bed there. So this little green button is where the print will start from. Now I need to, what you'll notice that it's come in and there's a line here that says scan. So this is called, it's basically going to do an etch or a scan. Rather than cut this out, which would be a nightmare because we end up with a dog-shaped hole in the wood, it's going to actually just scan the image on. We do need to cut out the actual edge of the coaster though, so I'm going to make a circle here. You can then select the whole of the material, press start, and that sends it to the laser cutter and starts the cut running. We got our laser cutter, we imported it. It's one way of doing it. We wanted to learn about how to set it up. We had to set it up ourselves. We had to install everything ourselves. And we kind of saved a load of money by buying it as an import, but we obviously took the risk that that might have not have worked out. There was a lot of people we looked at on YouTube. We're going to put the links below so you can see them. However, really, we would recommend if you're going to get one from a UK supplier and get the support and the help so that you can start going straight away. That's the end of the mini about laser cutting. See you next time. Bye.